Hello, today we're playing Hill's Advent. In this video, we'll begin Alex's route. I'll go help Alex. There's so much that I still don't really know, and maybe he can help with that. He might seem hard to oppose, but a very knowledgeable guy like him could help shedding some light on how I got here in the first place. If I could even oppose him, that is. He took a turn to the back hallway where a red figure happened to pass by the same lobby. Right. You waved at the dragon as he turned to you. Huh? If this isn't Dave. Good morning. Good morning. Are you headed somewhere? I'm going to help Alex for a bit. What about you? Well, I was thinking about going to his lab too, actually. Oh, really? Why you seem surprised? You could vaguely see the concern in his eyes. Yeah, I know he doesn't exactly trust me yet, but he's the learn type, right? If nothing else, I would like to stay a while and learn from him more. I see. If that's what you really want, then I'll respect that. The dragon smiled. I gotta say, though, Alex's knowledge in his field might be impeccable, but sometimes, how do I put this? He can be a bit difficult to deal with. Is that so? He didn't seem too harsh yesterday. Well, the dragon found you kind of wondered what's bothering him. Eventually, he smiled again. And forget about it. If you feel like it, maybe try putting him against the wall this time, yeah? You rolled your eyes. Very funny, Ray. Your accent earned a chuckle from Ray, as well as a head pat from him. Just mess with you. Well, let's get going then. I'll keep you coming to his bunker. Bunker? Well, by bunker I mean his lab. You know how it goes. All right. We both took the same path to the underground lab. The elevator ride felt shorter than last time, even though you already didn't talk much. You can vaguely hear Alex's voice echoing as you walked along the corridor. It sounded almost like he was scolding someone. Not again. I must stumble out of the lab as the door slid open. They briefly straightened their outfit before hurrying past you without a word. You didn't have time to see their face clearly, but they looked quite distressed and tears even. You returned while the person had already taken the elevator and left. It was strange how the mouse didn't seem to notice both of you there, or maybe he just didn't want to talk right now. Wait there, Dave. The dragon briefly instructed you as he entered the lab. You quickly hid yourself behind a pile of books and lab documents at the first encounter before peeking over the corner. Alex, Ray said, and Lance glared back almost immediately. Despite his small stature, he was very, very intimidating. Anyway, he seemed a bit reluctant, scratching the back of his head as he approached Alex. You know what? I won't even talk about what just happened. So what do you need me for? Just left the hammer and the workbench and sat in his chair. I went low on Arcade crystals. My last mage prototype weapon was accidentally destroyed by Festin. He made air quotes accidentally. This is why I can't trust him with any of my projects. He's clumsy and weak. Those of my prototypes were wrecked because he's too scatterbrained to handle them properly. Scatterbrained? Jeez, Alex. I know he's not the most skillful personnel around the lab, but you gotta stop being so hard on him. You know he's just trying his best. The link said, Liz didn't say anything, and Ray took a deep breath. I'll go get your crystals. How soon do you need them? In 2 days from now. I need it for another weapon prototype, because I'll hand them over about tomorrow evening. The dragon gently caressed Lynx's head as he could have sworn hearing him purr. He quickly smacked Ray's hand away, his face a bit red. Why? I threw another glare at him, but only for a moment as he sighed. Alright, I'll talk to Festin again for the umpteenth time. I'm glad to hear. I'll get going for now. Why? Wait. The Lynx almost yelled as the dragon left his side. Yeah? Stay safe. And No, well, alright. There's someone here that wants to see you. The dragon knows you on his way out. Oh, well, you know as well. Whoever it is, they'll have to wait until I finish my work. Alex. Fine. Who is it then? And timidly stepped out your hiding place as the dragon nuts your shoulder. Good morning, Alex. Oh, it's you again. What do you want? I'm in no mood to deal with your jokes, just so you know. Alex. Wayside and the lynx seemed to stop himself. Is this something you need from my lab, Dave? Well, I would like to learn more about this world from you, Ashley. I was hoping maybe I could uncover my connections to Arborea, why and how I got here and whatnot. Is that it? Expect indifference for the lynx, but you seem somewhat intrigued by your reasons. Well, as you already know, I have little time to spare for matters outside the scope of my projects. That's just I cannot afford to let just anybody into my work. So tell me, Dave, when can you offer me in exchange for the knowledge you seek? Well, I could help you around the lab. I might be a little clumsy, but I'm a fast learner and I'll do my best, I promise. Of course you will. It's if I need another fest in my lab, ruin all my progress for the month. He seems to start as why I gave him the look again. Okay, you know what? Lynx rubs his temples and he said, having an extra pair of hands around here could be helpful. Let's try not to break anything. Also, everything in this workplace is organized accordingly, so do make an effort not to misplace anything. And I mean anything. Have I made myself clear? Yes, I understand and will try my best. Well, now that that's settled, I'll be on my way. Have fun, you two. But not too much, I hope. Alex sighed as the dragon finally left before returning to whatever he was doing at his desk. He stood frozen in place for a few minutes to progress. The process what just happened. He realized he hasn't said a word to you after the way left. Back room. He said without looking away from the monitor. Huh? The books you wanted to check out are in my back room. He put something at the desk panel and an empty shelf in the back protruding into the wall, revealing a hidden tunnel. Oh. Like I said, don't misplace anything. We are done. Put 65, 76, 69, 88 on the door panel to leave. Try to remember it, because at 3 failed attempts, you'll get locked up and I'll have to come get you out later. But maybe I should note that down somewhere. Okay, I'll try to keep that in mind. As you should. Now go and don't bother me until lunchtime. You hurry into the tunnel as he remotely closed the door behind you. He didn't exactly say it, but maybe he sent you here because he wanted to be alone. You felt a little conflicted, but at least he didn't put you into a room riddled with traps, right? After walking for a minute or so, you end up in a spacious room about the size of a small warehouse. You looked about as several lamps gradually lit up the place. On one side were bookshelves stacked upon each other and like a personal archive of sorts. On the other side were various machine parts displayed on the racks in the smaller cells. You hear faint beeping in the back of the room. It looked like it appealed to you. The screen was off, but you could vaguely see the light coming from within the casing. You sighed to yourself. Even though the lynx gave you permission, you still felt like you weren't supposed to be here somehow. At last, here I am. So what should I do to pass the time? I don't exactly read a lot, but might as well, right? He gave a brief look through the book shelves. Some titles immediately grabbed your attention. Ooh, boy. Elisa was the first to tell me about this name. It's an interesting one for this world too, if I do say so myself. I sat down at the couch after taking the book. You flipped through the table of contents and started reading. Like Bruce Universe, 5 fundamental forces. I've seen that the universe in question here are cycle Big Bang and Big Crunch. At some point during its expansion, the previous universe began to shrink into singularity before spreading rapidly again. But something doesn't quite add up. From what you can remember from the science class back in school, there were only four fundamental forces: gravitational, electromagnetic, weak and strong nuclear forces. There are also speculations for the fifth force that seems to always exist from the beginning of Borea. As you read further along the passage, of this fifth force was described to have sentience, also capable of communicating with inhabitants of this universe through various forms. It is categorized as magical energy, or mage for short, and was known for its ability to bend and four other forces as well. This is how magic worked. Borea, as we know today, was formed approximately 4.5 million years ago. The people of Borea were of many different types of and classes of species, gaining sentience roughly at the same time on different regions of the planet. The first century people had a tendency to bond with their respective kin, forming different prehistoric tribes representing their species. The rulers of those tribes were also the first major users, people who could wield magic crystals and utilize its power. As magic users were very rare back then, those tribe leaders were deemed powerful figures, often referred to as descendants of God. This created social classes from the earliest days of civilization and time. Tribes became towns and towns became kingdoms. As society progressed, war was also a very common occurrence, either from conquest, class warfare, or species tension. At some point during the many warring periods, people of the lower classes realized their capability to wield magic, which was one of the catalysts leading to the modern revolution. Nowadays, magic is widely available, and almost all people can use the most basic elemental magic based on their affinities. Aside from the magic stuff, it's quite similar to the old world. And this conflict can happen anywhere after all, huh? The rest of the book is kind of like an encyclopedia of existing kingdoms and countries in Borea, as well as entries on diplomat status of different factions between continents, mostly politics. Oh, there's also an ocean kingdom too. It seemed interesting. There's a world map folded along the last pages. The names seemed to be written in some sort of dead hieroglyphs that he couldn't read, so he didn't look at it for long. Eventually, you flipped to the addendum where the specific passages caught your attention. The peaceful era achieved throughout the continent soon after the revolution. Treaties were formed between previously warring factions to maintain an everlasting peace in almost all modern settlements and civilizations. The reign of Evil King 2 decades ago changed all this. Legend proclaimed that when worlds collide, a hero will emerge out Borea's darkest moments and bring salvation to us all. You started closing the book. That last part was awfully similar to what Alicia talked about in the first weeks you spent at her home. I think that's enough for this book. Maybe I'll study the encyclopedia and ask Alex about the world map next time out. He got up to return the book to the south. Magic crystals. I always wanted to read more about magic. He ran against the wall as he flipped the book open. Magic crystals are minerals that contain traces of resonating elements that can channel various types of magic depending on the specific affinity of the user. The three known types of magic crystals are energy, elemental, and nether. Energy crystals can generate, channel, and manipulate electromagnetic force, and as such are mainly used to operate any piece of machinery that requires power. Although capable of providing unlimited clean energy, the production, deployment, and maintenance costs of energy crystals is a major deterring factor. A popular submission for alternatives was fossil fuel energy sources made from combustible substances, though cheaper, was quickly deemed inefficient as can result in air pollution. Scholars also argue that energy crystals' high durability will make them suitable for long-term investments for a clean energy solution. Well, ain't that just neat? You chuckle to yourself, especially at how this would sound like a made-up fantasy book in your world. That explains the fresh air even in the city. If all my old world had that kind of technology, Elemental crystals are mostly wielded by people to manipulate the elements of their will. The crystal will resonate with the user's elemental affinity to generate or manipulate forces of that specific element, much like the energy crystals that require polishing and proper placement to operate efficiently. Elemental crystals must also be polished and chiseled accordingly to ensure maximum resonance. Elemental affinity is innate to people of Boya and varies between different users. The same also applies to elemental crystals. If a user tries to wield a crystal of an incompatible element, no effect will occur. Okay, that's an awful lot of specific steps just to use elemental magic. You scratch your head as you turn to the next page. We all know about the origin and capabilities of nether crystals. However, the evidence from many studies and experimentations have concluded that nether crystals can disrupt the harmony and magical energy or mage of any affected living creatures. It has been proven that mage exists in every sentient being, regardless of their magic capability. And the mage of a sentient creature is disrupted, their mind will be corroded, and they will gradually revert to their feral impulses. Crystalline infection will first enter the afflicted through their bloodstream and begin to absorb any trace of mineral in their body, which can grow into visible patches on the person's skin. The visible nether cells on the affected can grow into fully spiked carapace if given the opportunity to feed the person with more crystals, regardless of which type. Exposure to nether crystals can lead to infection but not immediate corruption. Every sentient being have their own defensive mechanism that puts traces of nether infection from the body. However, being exposed to a stimulant can reach the threshold, and only then will the individual become fully corrupted into a mindless zombie. The only sense of this world is Stephen King, who is observed to have high resistance against nether infection, and as such has extensively used the crystal to subjugate crystalline beasts via unknown methods. He started thinking back those fictional movies where humanity would end from a zombie apocalypse. It isn't exactly the same in this case, but the thought of it really sent chills down the spine. A fourth hypothetical type of crystal is known as the aether crystal, believed to be the antithesis to the nether counterpart. Where nether crystals would disrupt the harmony of mage, aether crystals would instead revert to disruption and restore the harmony of mage. This is purely speculations, as there are currently no recorded evidence that suggests the evidence of aether crystals. The rest of the book was about technical specifications of the first two types of crystal, as well as how elemental affinities are hereditary. He closed the book in silence before returning to itself. Dimensional, right? Maybe this has something to do with how I got here. He sat back on the couch while the book, which looked quite old and a little tattered. He took extra care not to tear the book in half as he opened it. Written on the favorite pages were scribbles of scientific formulae with sticky notes attached to them. Mr. Alex used this book a lot. Though lacking observable evidence, the existence of other physical dimensions is undeniable. One popular theory proposed the use of an artificial crystal created through the combination of energy and elemental crystals to open cross-dimensional gateways to other worlds. Myths and urban legends of this phenomenon were commonplace from the earliest days of Arborea. From the tales of ancient tribes visited by other-worldly strangers to proto-modern mages and alchemists attempting crossover to other dimensions. There has yet to be evidence beyond reasonable doubt to back up this occurrence until now. He stopped at the scribbling at the end of the paragraph. There was one of the notes Alice wrote there. This day person seems to have been transported here from his dimension via the aforementioned method. Traces of spatial energy was reported by Max's lady friend, though there is still considerable doubt to her claims given the lack of specialized equipment for accurate monitoring on her part. and would have to get into contact with Dave to get more answers as to how he had wiped out Boyer, and if that were actually the case. He must be talking about Lisa. He's more invested in this matter than I thought. Alice's note seemed to cover up the following paragraphs that were supposed to debunk the cross-dimensional transportation theory. There's a common belief that other pocket dimensions housing natural deposits of nether and aether crystals existed. This will remain largely a theory, and there has yet to be submitted evidence to guarantee their existence, which could explain the disappearance of a creature's made post-mortem. Extensive monitoring of dying cell tests have shown their mass dispersing gradually with traces of dimensional energy. This will also apply to the infected, need more evidence and research. Requests for live nether subjects with a 9. We'll need to find better alternatives for more experimentation soon. Those of us were in depth about dimensional theories, space-time continuum, curvatures, and related mumble-jumbles. You really get the gist of it, but the more you tried to read, the more your head started to hurt. Return the book to its rightful place on the shelf with a long sigh. You went, oh, you can manage and decided to take a break for now. You still couldn't figure out how exactly you got here. Maybe someone took you through when you fell into that sewer, but that Barry was always hated to you. Even if that was the case, why were you chosen all people? All this thing is making your head heavy, but at least the topics you looked into were interesting. You felt like you've opened your mind to a well of knowledge about this world. There were several contraptions displayed on the smaller cells. Most of them seemed to have rather complex mechanisms, similar to clockwork, which is quite unlike the other things you see in his main lab. Maynard Lynch had a fascination for steampunk stuff. Next to the tools rack was a catalog detailing the names and functions of said tools. So look into it. He spent a moment studying the catalog. While not exactly the same, many of them were quite similar to the stuff you've seen or have used back in your world. From tools that let you polish and chisel quest tools to multi-purpose stick that lets you perform maintenance on all sorts of devices and contraptions. There were a lot, but most of them were quite straightforward, so it didn't take long for you to memorize at least a few. This might come in handy when Alice needed your help with his prototypes, if he even trusted you that much. Is this? Asked the computer. You asked yourself while eyeing the black screen. The keyboard seems to be a flat panel, something you've seen in those sci-fi movies. There are also no visible buttons in the casing either. Though you eventually felt a button on the bottom of the screen after feeling around its edge for a moment. So you press it. Well, I guess not. Alice did warn me about this, so maybe I should leave well enough alone. Don't want to be on the same boat as that RAD assistant. You decided to step away for now. You looked at the digital clock on the wall, which read 10 a.m. Oh, so about an hour away from lunchtime, maybe it's okay for me to leave now. You quickly noticed a password panel next to the door as you went back through the tunnel. You froze for a moment as you stared at the numpad. You could almost remember it, but you weren't very confident about it now that you're just second guessing yourself. Oh, what's this? There was a note tapped to the door. In case you forget. My name, in all capitals, well, judging by the handwriting, Alice definitely wrote this, whatever that's supposed to mean. You go noticeably as you eyed the password panel again. It goes nothing. The panel beat as the door slid open. He left the tunnel to find Alex still working on something at his station. There were 2 boxes of food on his table. "I hope you didn't do anything bad in there," Alex said, his eyes still glued to the monitor. "Got what you were looking for?" "Well, I think so. There were 3 books that caught my eye: History of Boyer, Magic and Gems, and Dimensional Theory. They were all very informative, but I'm afraid it kind of left me with more questions than answers. You started going over what you were about to say in your head. Maybe I could ask you for more explanations, if you're not busy, that is." He grabbed one of the boxes as he looked at you, seemingly surprised. "I suppose sparing you some of my time wouldn't hurt my progress too much. No talk. You have until we finish this lunch." "Oh, okay." He sat at the other desk with your food box. You opened your box as Alice did his, and were greeted with not just 1 but 2 dishes in separated compartments. One was some sort of diced poultry meat and vegetables still fried, which you just assumed to be chicken. The other meal looked more like orange fried chicken served with rice and a sunny side up egg on top. Alex stopped whatever he was working on before grabbing a bottle of black sauce from the desk and pouring some onto his lunch. There was wasting no time as he took a spoonful for his first bite. Almost immediately you could see his eyes beam with joy. With that, you were eager to dig in. You took a bit of the chicken stir fry with the rice and egg. It was just a bite. You couldn't help closing your eyes in bliss. The richness of the egg paired really well with a savory stir fry. The sweet and citrusy orange chicken also balanced out the spicy diced chicken just as nicely. You don't exactly eat this much chicken at a meal, but you feel like you could have this all day long. No wonder Alex seemed to love his chicken this much. "Enjoy yourself?" You realized the lynx was eyeing you. You hungrily took a few more bites. Good to know the food of this world doesn't disappoint, but remember, the quicker you eat, the less time you'll have for our discussion. You nodded timidly as you slowed down. "So go on. What have you learned so far?" He asked while taking a bite. "Well, I read about the making of the universe or Boyer's history. Seems very familiar to my world, but with some differences." "What kind of differences?" Well, back in my world we had 4 fundamental forces that are pretty much the same as yours, except magical energy doesn't exist there. So that means there's no magic at all in your world. That's certainly interesting." He mumbled something to himself before looking at you again. "How do the species in your world evolve?" "Well, it's actually kind of similar, but I don't think humans really exist here." "Humans?" "Yeah, that's what I used to be back in my world. We were a dominant species of the planet, gaining sentience after evolving from primates." "Primates, you say? Peculiar. You would have to tell me more about this species of yours another time. For now, tell me more about your society. Funny enough, it's most the same as yours, with all the conquest war uprisings in the past. The only difference is that there's no evil king trying to take over the world during my days there." "So your world is peaceful?" Well, I suppose, but not exactly. There are still conflicts and wars here and there. There's famine and busy all the time. Natural disasters hit us all the time, and there's all sorts of pollution and global pandemic everywhere. It's not all bad, though, of course. We don't have zombies here, at least not yet. You chuckled, though, thinking back to the many pieces of fictional media that your world has created about possible zombie scenarios. I'd rather have those instead of this. As mumbled, the dog look on his face like left you mortified. "Do you say something especially offensive?" You get yourself mental as a long silence ensued. "Alex, can I ask you about the prophecy?" "What of it?" "Well, I am Will the hero." He scoffed. "Well, are you?" I really don't know. I mean, the prophecy said the hero would come from another world, and I'm from another world, right?" "Well, oh, your gullibility is out of this world. That much is certain." "What? Hey, Look, they excuse me for my language, but I don't give a crap about those goddamn prophecies. Bad things only ever happen because of them. Did you know the evil king caused all this chaos and destruction just because of one such thing? You're free to believe that you're the chosen hero, Dave. Just know that many lives were taken because of some stupid prophecy that people naively believed in. I see. You see, it's still intimidating whenever Alex was that agitated. But now you seem interested when Ray told you about me being the hero. Ross, I'm only interested in your otherworldly background, that's all. He looked at you for a sigh. Here's my take on your case, Dave. You could be the next hero if you really wanted to. So become a hero because you willed it, not because of some bullcrap someone said hundreds of years ago, okay? Okay. You know, despite the aggression that was surprisingly encouraging coming from the likes of Alex. So, I read about the magic crystals and how it works. He said while eating his food. So, magic is basically using the white crystal for the white infinity, right? He turned back to the monitor screen and began typing again. Everybody has maze in their own infinity, and the other crystals disrupt their harmony, right? Yep. He began eating his lunch again, seemingly uninterested in what you were saying, although he wasn't exactly ignoring you either. Alex, is everything okay? It's not my concern whether you read the whole book to the last page. So try not to waste my time. What is it about this topic that you don't understand? Well, the last page that was on talked about the Aether crystal and how elements of infinities are hereditary. Does that mean I also have infinities? Maybe, maybe not. If you come from a world where magic is not prevalent, it's highly unlikely that you could use magic, let alone having any infinity. Well, it's still possible, right? Like I said, maybe. Can your parents do magic? Given what I've seen from you, I assume not. He said with a shrug. No, well, I don't have parents. I was left at an orphanage when I was still a baby. Al suddenly stopped eating. He didn't look at you with what seemed to have struck a chord somehow. But that's not really the point there. I brought it up because there are also people who can't do magic here. Called a fracture, right? Yes, but where do you learn that name from? Elisa told me when I asked her about magic. Right, math is fun. The Link's mother, as he stared at the screen, was turned off for the moment. They were born with a defect, which locks away their magical potential within their body. They're like a cracked gemstone. No matter how big their power is, they could never unleash it properly, hence their namesake. I see. She also said there's another name for them, but I shouldn't really say it. Just for education's sake, the word she's referring to is cracked, which is what you will hear most common folk calling those people. And she's right. Don't ever use that word in front of those people if you can help it. Understood. So are there many fractures here in the city? Probably. I wouldn't know of it myself. Okay. I might do an infinity test on you later, Dave, just to clear up your questions. Thanks, Alex. No promises, though, of course. Besides, judging by the selfless tone, maybe it would be better to drop the topic for now. So, there's also this book about dimensional theory. Yeah, and? Nothing, I just saw a lot of scribbling in there. You must have spent a lot of time on that book. This is one of the subjects I took special interest in. My father used to give me books of recorded myths and urban legends, which all mentioned or hinted at visitors from the other worlds. It was just childish, really. To think I used to believe in all that. You saw him looking away for a moment as if avoiding something. Anyways, when I was studying those books, I found out about the crystals. That's why I took it as my main subject when I stayed at the academy. I see. Can you tell me more about your research then? Where should I start? What have you learned so far from the book? Well, the myths and legends about visitors from another world. Yeah, that's what I just said. Anything else? There's like a nether, an aether, a dimension too, and some other theories. Something about curvatures. I'm sorry, but I don't think I really understood it. You really whacked your brain to repeat the information you've gathered from that book. I bet somewhat failing. Alex didn't seem to mind though. Right. On death, the maze or a living creature disperses inobservable traces of dimensional energy. That's one of my bigger projects right now. If we could open a gateway to another dimension, the Aether would be within reach too, if the correct frequency could be discovered. He switched on the monitor again and went through some statistics for a moment. I could really use more live subjects for this, preferably infected, but all my requests are still denied to this date. But wait, live subjects? Isn't that inhumane? Inhumane? Do you humans really place yourselves at the center of everything? These experimentations are what's pushing us forward against the evil king. Because I don't expect you to understand this yet. But I digress. You came here to find out how you came here, is that right? Yes. You nodded at him timidly. I'm afraid I might not have the answers you expected, Dave. Entries in our database is suggesting the possible existence of the nether and aether, but your world I have yet to find a recorded data on. So far, you're the only living proof that another dimension also exists. I need to conduct an extensive scanning of your body later, preferably after I'm done with my current task. Well, that's fine. Very well. You're not sounding strangely enthusiastic about that. You and Alice both finished your meals. That was really nice. Indeed. Well, it wasn't too bad speaking to you, Dave. Perhaps you have potential to be more than just a test subject. Wait, what? Nothing. Now, can you please throw these into the bin? Also, help me with this thing we are done too. Sure. He cleared the boxes and he asked before coming back to his desk. So, what should I do? For starters, help me get this thing onto the table. He pointed to what looked like a hefty gun sitting on the floor. It had a crystal attached to the end of the barrel, which made you think of a steampunk bazooka. Don't let the compact look deceive you. Usually why will help me love this around the lab. But as you can see, I don't have his massive biceps. I see. You intended to grab the weapon by the sides to lift it up. You huffed. It's definitely heavier than it looks. You took a deep breath and as you slowly dragged it across the floor, eventually you managed to keep it on your arms long enough to gently drop it onto the sweatbench. Phew. You looked at Lance while catching your breath. You looked almost impressed even though the weight of that thing caught you off guard. Thanks a lot. I thought we'd be stuck with that thing on the floor until Roy got back. At least you're more capable than that rat. I give you that much. Alice then got back to the workbench and began to inspect the bazooka. He also asked you to fetch some tools for him, so you quickly looked at the rack on the other station. Luckily you did read the catalog, so it only took a moment for you to get the crystal wrench and the bolt driver he asked for. He didn't say much, but he seemed quite pleased. You was on the side as he performed some sort of maintenance on the crystal bazooka with a lot of care and focus. So Dave, you looked at him as he quickly glanced away. I guess I should apologize for being too harsh on you. You weren't sure if you just heard that correctly. Regardless, you decided to reply with a smile. That's right, Alex. I understand where you're coming from too, so no hard feelings. It doesn't mean I trust you or anything. It's just you're on my okay list for now. He glanced away again as you looked, this time looking a little flustered. You can come by every day to help if you want. That's what makes up my lab. Of course, I'm eager to be of help, Alex. And, yeah, thank you. Alex glanced away with a similarly annoyed look in his eyes, almost like he wasn't sure whether to smile or frown. You do know, well, you, you do know I will still hate you. I will still hate you if you mess up. So try not. So try not to, okay? I'll do my best. Don't worry. As you should. Anyway, it's getting quite late, so you free to leave. It was then you looked to the clock to see it was always 7 p.m. Whoa! Seems like time does fly when you're having fun. You had your concerns at first, but Alex doesn't seem so bad, if at all. Yes, you had okay time working and learning from him. I still have work to do, so you better go on. That's right. Do come by tomorrow, even if you don't feel like working around the lab. I still need to do the scanning on you if we're to learn anything about how or why you got here. Right, got it. Well, see you, Alex. Until next time. He waved at you from his desk as you left. You smiled to yourself. He seemed to be in a good mood today. You made your way back to the elevator when you bundled away. Dave, how was your day? It went well, I guess. Alex said, and come by tomorrow to help him. Oh, that's great news. This was worried for nothing. That can't find he's getting a new acquaintance, possibly a new assistant too. You're giving me too much credit, Ray. Hey, it's not easy to leave a good impression on Alex, and that's coming from his long-time friend. Right. Yeah, but that's that. Where are you going now? I heading back to my dorm room, of course. Well then, I bought this for you. He handed you a meal box like the one at lunch. I was on my way to get His Majesty dinner, bought an extra for you as well. Oh, thanks, Ray. He spat your hand away as you reached for it. You have to pay for it. He gestured towards your pockets. Well, I don't have any money. I can see that. Well, then, I also accept a different kind of payment too. One doesn't require cold, hard cash. He posted as he said, "What do you say, Dave?" Hey, just mess with you. He gave you a light nudge as he chuckled. But why? Don't play with me like that. I can't help it. You guys just look so cute and embarrassing. Anyways, you can have it for free. Consider a compensation for having to deal with Alex. Now go and rest up, Dave. You could really use it if he wants you back in his lab. Okay. Know it. See you later. Too, Way. Waving goodbye as you parted ways. You made your way back to the dorm and spent some time on the balcony. Being in an enclosed room for an entire day was quite something after all. You sat down to eat your dinner, which turned out to be some kind of stir-fried noodles. You spent the next hour cleaning up and getting ready for bed. Alice wanted you back at the lab to help him out with his project, so you better be in pristine condition lest he make more missteps to get chewed out by him. Because you see him in a good mood today, the thought of how angry Alice was even scarier than before. I hope I didn't get on his bad side at least. He managed to fall asleep after quite some time. Beep beep. You awake from the loud alarm. You open your eyes gingerly as you sat up in bed. It's still quite early, but you feel rather refreshed. You get to the bathroom to prepare for your second day at Alice's lab. You remember the link saying something about scanning your body, so you do feel rather anxious. Better come in fresh. You decided to head straight to the tavern for some quick breakfast before going to the lab. You sat away in the main hall with a box in his hand. Good morning, Ray. Oh, Dave, hey, it's still pretty early on, and yet here you are looking for my way. I'm flattered. He said with a playful wink. What? No, I'm on my way to get some breakfast. Oh, is that so? Mind if I tag along for a bit then? Sure. Thanks, Dave. Where are you going after this anyway? Well, I'm going to Alice's lab. He wants me to show up again. Remember? Oh, yeah. To do that scanning thing, right? Well, I guess he could wait a little longer for his breakfast. Let's get going then. You both head to the tavern. The waiter quickly swung by the table as soon as you sat down. Good morning, Dave. What may I get you today? Oh, I'm good. Just here for company. What's you getting, Dave? Well, I'm here for a free breakfast. One breakfast set. Anything else? No, that would be all. Understood. If you need any help, just call me, S. Alright, thanks, S. The leper gave you a courtesy bow before returning to the kitchen. For a place like this, he's quite proper, isn't he? Ray remarked. Him? Well, yeah, I guess so. Back in mobile establishments like these, don't even have anyone dressed up that fancy, let alone speaking in such a proper manner. After a few minutes, Ash returned from the kitchen with the food in hand. He placed the tray in front of you with a courtesy nod before heading to a different table. You notice your breakfast seemed a bit different this time around. Instead of fruits, the oatmeal seemed to have some chunks of meat and vegetables. This is different from yesterday. Oh, a savory set, eh? Yeah, they do alternate between savory and sweet sets every day. This one probably doesn't look as appetizing, but it's quite good. Give it a taste. He hesitantly took a spoonful and closed her eyes expecting a weird taste, but turned out to be quite a pleasant one. The chunk of meat actually gave the meal a bit of texture, which complemented its light yet balanced taste. It was quite fulfilling, like eating a meat porridge, but better in several ways. You quickly finished up with a satisfied sigh. You're done? Should we get to the lab then? Yep, let's. You nod with glee. Can't help but feeling energized after such a good meal. You both made your way to the lab. Just while he was about to scan his eyes, you heard Alice talking through the intercom. Oh, finally, you're here. Let Dave use the retinal scanner, right? Want to register his profile. Oh, alright, you heard the boss man, Dave. Go ahead and put your eyes in front of the scanner. Oh, okay. You follow his instruction. The scanner seemed to go silent for a moment before a bell chime played and a synthetic voice greeted you. Welcome, new user. Please state your name. Dave, he said hesitantly. Welcome, Dave. The voice replied as the door slid open. Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, you're officially Alex's lab mate. At each other as you follow him inside. Yeah, very funny. I am also overwhelmed by laughter right now. Despite the deadpan look on his face, Alex seemed to be blushing a little. Hey, who said anything about it being funny? If anything, that's pretty sweet. Not everybody can praise Mr. Alex here so much to become his lab mate, right, Dave? The dragon said as he nuzzled his shoulder. He can't help but chuckle a bit as the lunch went even wetter. My point is, as long as you can help around and don't leave a bigger mess, I won't mind. Right you are. Alright, here's your breakfast. Fish sandwich, your favorite as per usual. Thanks, you can leave that there. Alex resumed his typing as Ray put the box at his desk. Also, all you had somewhere important today? Oh yeah, the road trip. The dragon scratched his head a bit. I also forgot about that. Seemed like I'm 10 minutes late. Better ready up. You should be thankful that it's Matt's and not any of your supervisors. What? Because my honey was what buzz them as much as they would on you, right? Just shut up and get going, right? You might be a friend, but you shouldn't keep others waiting so long. Fine. Ray grabbed his equipment from the side desk as well as a long basket, as large basket by the cells. And I know I said this before, but be careful out there, right? I'd rather not bad happen to either of you because of me. It'll be alright, Alex. Well, I better get going now. See you guys around. Ray gave the lynx a quick head pat before going on his way. And for a moment you could have sworn hearing apart, but maybe it was just your imagination. Well, now that that dumb dragon's gone, we can get back on track. Are you up for it, Dave? Yes. But please remind me what we're gonna do again. Scanning. I'm curious to see if you had anything of interest, any abnormalities and peculiarities, if you will. Link said, going through some sort of data chart on the screen. You said you were a human, right? I want to know how much your transformation has affected your body. So your body composition also seems quite prudent. That sounds like a lot. That may be, though it's a rather straightforward process. Come with me. He opened a hidden tunnel from his computer as you following him to the back room inside. He quickly went to launch the computer in the back and opened a different entrance with a set of commands. Spotlights lit the new chamber, revealing rows of stasis tanks lined to the sides. Some are empty while others are filled with some opaque liquid. You could have sworn spotting some movement inside one of the tubes, but then again, it was too hard to see anything inside. What is this place? A biological research room. I use these tubes to contain living creatures and run tests of them. He stopped in front of an empty tank in the back. Now strip and get inside. What? Well, apparels in general will obstruct the skin, so we need as little clothing as possible, or the procedure won't be optimal. But do I really have to? He said timidly. He went silent for a bit before laying out alongside. Fine, I guess you can keep your pants on, but the skin will take a bit longer since I have to run several instances inside for modifying the scanning procedure. No, it's alright. I can figure it out. Just remove your clothes and step in. Okay, thanks, Alice. Yeah, just make it quick. I want to eat my savings already. You remove your upper clothes and one side of the tube which closes up the moment you fully got in. What now? I'm going to fill up the tank with diagnostic fluids. It won't be cozy, but do try to relax, okay? This won't take too long, alright? You see Alex circling to a different control panel and started the process. Before you knew it, the cold liquid was already up at your waist as you tried to relax your body. Suddenly, a tube and a mass slither from the top towards your face. You assume this will help you breathe, so you open wide as the tube slid into your mouth. As your body fully submerged, you were able to breathe again through the tube, which soon fed you some kind of warm fluid. You felt increasingly drowsy, as if you were floating in space. Everything became a blur to you soon after. The last thing you remember seeing was Alice in front of your tank, pushing buttons on a panel while munching on his sandwich. Eventually, you woke up, covered in a white blanket, on what looked like a hospital bed. You glanced around to see Alice beside you, seemingly taking notes and typing away at a computer. You could vaguely see what seemed to be an internal scan of your body on the screen. Oh, you up? He eyed you for a bit before looking back at the screen. You've been out for almost 6.5 hours. Almost 6 hours. For almost 6 hours. 5 hours and 57 minutes to be exact. 5 in the tube and 57 on the bed. You rolled your head as the pain slowly settled in. Yeah, my head. That's a common side effect of the amnesia. Try not to move around too much. I'm almost finished with this. Lay back down on the pillow, closing your eyes. Your head felt like a piece of wood being drilled non-stop by a woodpecker. You stayed there for a couple of minutes before Alice finally stood up from his chair. Finally, he did a quick stretch before taking a deep breath. Let's go. Put on your clothes and go to the front. He said, pointing at a small table where your clothes sat, seemingly intact and neatly folded. Okay. You tried to lift a muscle, but it still felt very weak. It's like trying to walk immediately after falling in a swimming pool for a long time. He held onto the bed and slowly made it to the table. Despite the mild numbness in your limbs, you still manage to put on your clothes. You slowly walk towards Alex, who's waiting by the secret door. Come on, hurry up! Alex urges, and you try to sprint a little, almost tripping on your own feet. God! You manage to regain balance after a lot of struggle. The Lynx only shook his head as he tapped on the floor panel and headed back to the front lab. Alex took one and sat down at his computer. He began typing again as the diagram of your body scan appeared on the screen. He took the other box and sat down in front of his desk. This is feeling like a patient waiting for his doctor to you. So the results are in, and it's quite interesting. He said while swiping his hand from the screen to a space in front of you, while the same diagram you saw on the screen appeared almost instantly like some sort of dot of hologram. Whoa, that's really cool. He said in awe, and you say in awe as the Lynx seemed a little flustered. What are you, a child? Alex shook his head. Well, anyway, like I said, the result is quite interesting. Nothing is wrong with your anatomy. Everything is where it should be. Nothing is out of the ordinary, and nothing is missing, hopefully. He clicked on the screen in the maze label, and the diagram was overlaid by what looked like a bunch of wires going all around your body connected to the center point of your body. Is this? Yes, these are your blood vessels or your circulatory system. Maze particles follow this system to distribute themselves across your body accordingly. So that means there's nothing wrong with my blood flow, right? You try to recall anything you've learned from biology class years ago. Well, this is what my skin looks like. He tapped at the screen and dragged it in the opposite way. The hologram changed into what looked like Alex's body skin. Like yours, his circulatory system seemed to glow a yellowish hue instead. It's glowing. Exactly. Under certain light frequencies, the maze particles in your body will emit light based on your elemental affinity. Yours doesn't glow. This would mean your body doesn't have any maze particles at all, or so I would assume. So I can't use magic? You can't for now. Your body has a trace amount of maze 0.019574% to be precise. It's impossibly small. Even newborns have 15% maze inside them. The lowest maze count on microscopic living creatures is a devotatory with 3%, and that's because they live in the middle of arid terrains like deserts. Your maze count is lower than even a microscopic creature, which has at least 0.1%. Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. It actually makes sense since you're from a different world, which means it's not necessarily gleaming with excitement. You're living proof of a creature from another dimension. Huh. Probably if I found concrete evidence to finalize my research, those stupid old academic council members can pat their beds and scram. That's actually great, Alice. Good for you. Good. This morning, good. My lifelong research is finally coming to fruition. One of my main lifelong projects, but you get the point. That said, there's one unaccounted for anomaly. The maze trace that I've mentioned is nothing new. It's nothing that I know about. So far queries on the database yield no correlations. I will have to look into it more. It's not behaving like ordinary maze particles. I'm still unsure, but it might be something to do with your being transported here. Tell me in details on how you got here again, if you please. Alex said, opening his food box. He spent the lunch break enjoying the meal, explaining the story of your sudden arrival, all up to the point where Elisa first found you lying in the middle of the forest. You both finished eating and talking about your world for some time. So first thing first, the physics in your world is fundamentally different from ours. People do not inherently have magic and thus cannot do magic. They will explain your maze count. Then the 0.01% of your maze count could be a residue from the special magic used to summon you here. As that Einstein guy you talked about back in your world stated, energy cannot be created or destroyed, so it must have come from something. I must admit he got some pretty interesting theories and formulae. I would love to speak to him in person. If only he was transported here instead. Well, he's already passed away a long time ago, so I don't think he would have come here either way. That's a damn shame. What about that Hagen guy then? He's passed on as well, recently. The finest minds of science. How very fortunate. Well, anyway, back to our topic. It's highly likely that you've arrived here as the target of a summoning. And you mentioned you've had nightmares even before you got here. Yeah, it's all quite the same. Something about a giant silhouette or someone always seems to be looming over me in fleeting laughter, I think. I say, whoever summoned you here must have been on a lookout for you long before this event. And that rabbit woman matches fun. I've had my hunches, but I think I know what she is. I will need to meet with her directly to confirm my theory. She was the one to report traces of dimensional energy about you when you were found. There's no way a normal person could know something like that without proper equipment. Perhaps Max could arrange a meeting with her or even invite her to come here. The summons I suddenly turned to reluctance, or maybe not, but now I think studying you is good enough. You've given me enough information for now. I could use some assistance around the lab, but you're free to go back to your dorm if you wish. I don't mind staying to lend a hand. Thanks, I appreciate it, Dave. The first time you spot a genuine smile on Lynx's face, you must be quite pleased. You ended up staying around Alex's lab for a while. Despite your fatigue, you tried your best, helping around with various tasks and even some of his experiments. He didn't seem to mind explaining to you how to operate some of his tools so as to assist him in bigger tasks. Other times you would do the heavy lifting for him around the lab. You would occasionally sit down during breaks to chat a bit about your world. At some time in the evening, the lab door opened on its own, and as a weary Ray stepped in. Hey Ray, welcome back. You stopped your task to greet the dragon, who only replied with a forced smile. Hey guys. Oh, you're back. How did the gathering go? Alex asked, but he didn't reply, only placing the food boxes onto his desk and the basket now full of crystal chunks onto a nearby counter. Something happened, didn't it? That's an understatement, alright? Link said with his usual cold tone, but you could see the concerned look in his eyes. Why? You sound really frustrated. What exactly happened? About 20 minutes ago, Matt sent me a field report saying the tree is showing some odd behaviors. Oh yeah, what sort of odd behavior? The tree somehow temporarily lost its protective capabilities. Protective capabilities? Yeah, that's what the Akai tree is known for. It is a natural crystalline barrier that wards off nether creatures. It's also what inspires the glowing crystals constructed for our city. Let's fill you in while the dragon looked strangely bereft. Did he say anything else? No, not really. What is that? Why is that? Do you know something that he doesn't? No, nothing like that. It's nothing important. Alright. Listen, if there's no other task that need my help, I'll be on my way. Leave already? What are you going to do, Ryan? Well, I don't know. Probably go for a stroll in the city. Well, sure, suit yourself. Just, if you do see Feston, tell him to help with Dave's registration onto the system. That's going to be one hell of a paperwork that I simply have no time for. Yeah, I got that. I'll let him know if I see him. The dragon was quick to leave again, while the Lynx went back to work as if nothing happened. You could tell Alex seemed a bit disappointed. He wanted to ask about this matter out of curiosity, but the Lynx didn't really converse a lot after what just happened. Not long after Ray left, the Lynx thanked you for your help and dismissed you from his lab. You took your dinner box and went back to your dorm. You took a shower and decided to call it a day after eating up your meal with some sort of noodle stir frying that you couldn't recognize, but it was quite alright. Despite what happened, you had a rather fine day at Alex's lab working with him, and it turned out to be quite pleasant as he felt a lot stronger and smarter after the session. Though you couldn't say the weird feeling when you looked at the dragon, who seemed to be sad, angry, worried, and disappointed at the same time. You only hoped he would Soon be alright after whatever happened during that errand trip. He let outside, alongside his request against the bed. Alice wants you back at the lab tomorrow, saying he wanted you to help test something out. He closed her eyes and fell asleep a moment later. You wait to the sound of the alarm. Usually you lays around in bed for a moment, but this time you better not keep Alice waiting. You quickly prepare yourself and went down for breakfast at a tavern. On your way to the lab afterwards, you find Alice and Ray seemingly bickering about something. You saw a post to try and see what the commotion was about. For the 100th time, it's not possible that such a thing happened without any concrete reason, right? You must have triggered something abnormal, just lost the wrong crystal. And for the 12th time, it ain't my fucking fault. Who's the one with the vision, huh? I do. And I can say with confidence that I did nothing wrong there. Yeah, you do have the vision, right? And that's all the more reason for the suspicion to be on you. How could you be so sure if your vision was working properly? It was working fine. You can see the dragon's nostrils flaring visibly. Come on, you fucking know me better than that, Max. How dare you say that? The chase started yelling. After taking some deep breaths to calm himself, he turned towards your hiding spot. Hey, you can come out now, Dave. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stoop on you two. It's alright, Dave. We were having a bit of disagreement. Excuse me? A bit? You blatantly telling lies, Max, about me. Guys, I'm sorry. What exactly happened? Long story short, a big nether snake broke through the barrier and attacked us. Barrier? You mean the Kaitri's barrier? Yeah, it's supposed to ward off nether creatures, just like how the GC protects Crystal Coast. Which makes it fairly odd that a nether snake could enter the vicinity unless someone is directly tampering with the tree. And here we go again. What? I'm not suggesting it was you specifically. This is merely a hypothesis. The nether beast couldn't have just waltzed in if the seal was still working properly, unless it broke in, which means somebody was messing with the tree. And you also happen to be the one to choose which cluster to have in the first place. So he said it's basically my fault. I'm really laying down the facts. Well, it's actually your fault now. It's the facts that gonna talk at the end of the day, right? The tension between them is heightening. You feel like you should do something about it. What will you do? Try to talk things out with them. Even Alice can weigh a bit. Guys, can we just stop and take a deep breath together? Huh, deep breath. More like a deep punch to knock someone's sense into this canine. Go ahead, you'll lose either way. Well, Max, don't be like that. And wait, I'm serious. Please, take a deep breath, guys. We can try to figure something out together, alright? They both said nothing for the moment before Max eventually sighed. Alright, what do you suggest then, Dave? Well, for starters, please don't be condescending, Max. Ray's your friend, so it wouldn't hurt to just trust him a bit more, right? Even if it doesn't follow your logic. And right, I know it's hard, but please calm down. Try to explain things more clearly. I'm sure Max has his suspicions because, just like me, he still can't fully understand what exactly happened yet. Well, I certainly can look to other potential causes, but that will require a re-investigation. Yeah, I don't mind if it means I can prove your story as wrong on those accusations. Yeah, so we did find a middle ground, right? Just please don't fight like this, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ray. Ray looked away, still visibly angry. Sure. But know that you owe me if it turns out that you're in the wrong. Yeah, I'll get you anything you want if that's actually the case. Deal? Yeah, and I guess I'm sorry for yelling at you too, Max. Nah, I'm prepared for it. You're always a hot-headed one, after all. You're Mr. Cold guy. No wonder no one's dating you yet. You just spit those facts about their lies right at their fucking face. Nah, I don't think anyone's interested in me, though. You're joking, right? Man. Whatever. I could stay here and argue all day with you, but I do have some errands to run. See you, Max, Dave. See you. I'll file a reinvestigation request today. It might have. It might take some time, but I'll let you know when it's approved. Sure. He sighed to himself before walking away from the lobby. It was seeing you managed to cool things down between them. You should probably get going though. I gotta go now, Max. I was waiting for me. Oh, sure. Send my regards. Will do. You quickly took the elevator and made your way down to the lab. You almost knocked on the door when you remembered to use the eye scanner instead. Welcome, Dave. As the door slid open, you saw Alex working on something at his desk. You sure took your sweet time. What's the hole? Oh, I met Max and Ray at the lobby. They were having a pretty big argument. Why? Must be because of yesterday. Yes, though. They always make amends to each other, I think. That's quite a relief then. What good is there to bicker about something with such an easy solution? A simple revisit should clarify everything. Yeah, they actually agreed to reinvestigate the tree. Oh, really? That's actually good news for once. I need to let Ray know that I will be joining them as well. Really? No offense, Alex, but you seem more like an indoor person to me. Not because I am, Dave, but this is a rare opportunity I cannot let slip by. The cause of this incident is still unknown for now. Perhaps it's due to a disturbance in the energy flow, the crystalline formation, or even the tree structure. Well, who knows what I could discover from this trip. Sometimes it's just that simple to find some diamonds in the rough. Okay. So, what can I help with today? Well, I'm doing something with the crystals taken from the acai tree. Feston was to be here to assist, but he's busy with paperwork for now. He'll be here with our lunch later on. He headed towards his desk to give a better view of what he's making. I don't understand what you're trying to make here. Well, the acai crystal is well known for being quite the different cut from those mined at Aegis. They have this unique property that allows energy to flow both ways, and with the right cut and refinement, they can even convert elemental energies. Usually, to make a crystal engine, people have to use complex machinery to convert energy or to form a two-way energy flow. With a cultivator, we can achieve that easily, thus reducing the size needed with this machine to operate, making it portable. And you're making a portable communication device. I believe I've acquired the suitable framework, though it still requires a lot of energy crystals. And I have yet to figure out an optional configuration for this. Oh, I thought there was always something like that here. I mean, I used to have something like that, but the battery already ran out, so I just kept it with me as a memento. What did you just say? About what? About you having some sort of portable communication device. Yeah, I used to have it. Now it's just sitting in my room dead. Alice's eyes suddenly widened as he stared at you. Yeah, such a thing? Why didn't you tell me sooner? Go fix it for me. Post haste. Whoa, slow down, Alex. What are you talking about? Just go. Come on, clock's ticking. Okay. You quickly exited the lab and went straight back to your room. It didn't take long for you to find the phone among the stuff you packed before leaving Lisa's house. He gave it a once over. Aside from the few scratches on the screen and from the covering screen, it was still in pretty good shape. It was different. It was something you could afford with your allowance, so it wasn't one of those latest models everyone in college had. But for what it's worth, it served you well for the few weeks before you ended up in this world. You flipped it a couple of times, reminiscing about your past before sewing it back into your pocket and dashed back down to the lab. You found Alice talking to somebody familiar when you arrived. Yes, I know, but oh, you're back finally. Yeah, meet Feston, my assistant. He just had the Anthro mouse next to him. You see, so this is the assistant that was shooting out of the lab the other day. He understood the links was the source of the bunks. Professor was even sure, judging by what seemed to be a portable stepping stool he was perched on. My name is Fesson, kind sir. He offered you a handshake as you approached. I'm Davis. It's nice to finally meet you. Likewise, Fesson would like to know if Dave would like something to drink or eat. Oh, well, yeah, he talks like that. It's a common dialect from his hometown. I think we're fine, Fess. Let's just focus on the positive for now. All right, Master Alice, sir. Now, where's your thing, Dave? Oh, here, you better pull that out of your pocket where Alice snatched it. Fascinating, it's so thin. How does this thing operate? So it ran out of energy, you say? Yeah, I didn't have any means to charge it here. Oh, a Fesson might suggest how about looking for an energy input slot. Of course, that's what I'm trying to figure out here. It must be the small hole underneath. I think, right? Give me a sec or two. Yes. You see the cat going from one cell to another, taking different gases of string machine parts and putting them onto his desk. He proceeded to construct what looked like a makeshift charger port, but instead of the usual connector, there's exposed wires. This new contraption was powered by a blue crystal. As fiddled with the wire, probably testing it for any sign of electricity before sticking it into the power socket. A brief moment passed before you finally heard a sound you haven't heard for so long. The phone lit up, and on display was a bright 0% with a lightning symbol on top. So it's actually charging properly. You can't help but feeling quite nostalgic. It's been so long since I heard that beep. I think it should be working. The crystal is powering the device for now. Fesson would like to suggest something, Master Alex, sir. Where is it, Fesson? Mayhaps we probe the device for any data inside. That way we would know the origin of this device. And just what do you think I'm doing here? While it's being charged, I'm setting up a connection to our lab database to see if we can gather anything from this device. Dave says a portable communication device, so studying its interior would be worthwhile. Oh, just like what Fesson and Master Alex started making then. Where does Dave come from? Fesson never knows any country that can make such things yet. He comes from a long-lost civilization. Yes, he comes from an ancient, from another continent. Fesson, don't bother with the details. Fesson understands if Master Dave was not to talk about it. What's the Fesson do while we wait? Well, you still got some documents to sort through and gadgets to perform maintenance on. Let's split those tasks with Dave here. Alright. Come, Dave. What would you like to help Fesson with? I'll help with the gadgets. Oh, good. Then Fesson won't have to lift those heavy gadgets. They can do maintenance on those gadgets on that stuff. He points to the south next to you. Alright, what should I do with them, actually? Then take one, then polish it clean with the cloth there. He points to the white cloth on the workbench. And then they put it on the contraption. Then the machine will check if there's anything to be fixed there. It will give Dave information on the gadget. And Dave saw a warning on the machine. Put the gadget on that shelf. Broken gadgets go there. He points to a different shelf on the other side. Alright, that should be easy enough. You grab what looked like a small cube from the cell. What? Oh, the stone from how heavy it was. Careful, Dave. Fesson once hurt one of Fesson's toes just with that. I'll try not to do the same. Muster up your strength to place the cube onto the machine Fesson mentioned. After a few seconds, the input panel on the machine lit up as it started making some beeping sounds. Eventually, a display appeared in front of the machine, listing all the details about the gadget itself. Diagnosis report generated successfully. You read from the title displayed in bright font on the panel. You weren't exactly sure what to do with this panel thing, but you remember seeing Alice just using his fingers to navigate like a touchscreen, so you decided to do just that. Scrolling down through the list, you scratched your head as you couldn't really understand most of it. Either some highly technical terms or some symbols that you did not recognize. But judging by the high percentage displayed at the integrity section in the empty damaged components list, there's probably nothing wrong with this gadget. You decided to put it back on the shelf and take out the next gadget. After coming through barely 1/3 of the shelf, your arms began to feel sore from all the heavy lifting. At least you learned quite a bit about what those devices are. Converter, limiter, resistor, mostly things related to crystal technology. I guess these are what Alice ordered for his experiments. There was also this one gadget called Dimensional Energy Phaser, prototype LF-Nail, which looked like a normal lunchbox to you. It seemed to be broken halfway, so you put it on the other cell. Eventually, you finished with your work. You took a moment to stretch your arms and body after a mild workout. You looked over to Fesson, who happened to be sitting idly at his stool. He probably just finished his test for the morning as well. You guys are done? Yes, any lack on the device, Master Alex, sir? It should be done any second now. I managed to gain access to his internal storage so that they are transferring to printers at any moment. This device is certainly strange. It doesn't use any crystal and maze to transmit information, but rather electromagnetic waves using a series of mechanisms that convert sound into those waves, which will be taken by the receiver and converted back to sound. Yes, thank you, Fesson. I was going to say that, but thanks. It's interesting. We usually use maze to communicate. The concept and principle is quite the same with your device here, but instead we use maze to transmit and receive our thoughts, since our consciousness is linked to maze itself. Yes, how fascinating. This could revolutionize communications in our world. I still prefer telepathic communications. It's much safer and concealed. Perhaps I could. Eat, sir? Yes, let's eat. Come on, Dave. Might as well start our lunch break. Alright, well, I don't know much, but I can try to explain how the phone works if you want. Phone? Is that how you call it? Very well, please do. You sat down at the main desk to have lunch while discussing about how the phone worked. They explained how it could take photos and record sounds and videos while also storing them on the phone. Although something still felt amiss while you were explaining, like you're forgetting something important. That feeling kept nagging you for a while, even after the lunch break. Well, you know what they say. You forgot about it then, and it's probably not important. You shrugged the thought off as you returned to work. Well, this tiny device can also say that it record media, as you say. Interesting, we do have similar technology, but it uses crystals for memory storage. We here use different devices for different tasks. For instance, our visual telepath or VT can record video footage for a broadcast station's feed. There's also a contraption used for taking pictures or recording videos, but it's currently limited to several items per crystal. With this, we might be able to enhance our current storage capacity by combining these technologies. It's a wonder how something so thin can perform such wide range of tasks. Mayhaps it's because it uses no crystals. Fesson believes it uses something else to require less space. Yes, I know. Data duplication completed. It's finally done. Let's see what's inside, Sally. That nagging feeling came back to you again. What is it that you forgot? Is it something about the phone? What is it? Is it something to record? No. Pictures? I hardly take a selfie. Alice was away at the computer, about to open up the phone's data on screen when realization finally hit you. It's not selfish, it's very porn. Oh, Alex, wait. What? What's gotten into you all of a sudden? That you want to see the inside of your phone as well? My phone might contain some vulgar images and videos, so please proceed with caution. You said feeling your face redder than ever. Alright, I also wonder how you humans reproduce, so I suppose it's alright. It's not human porn. Okay, it's better that I saw it myself then. You decided to cover your eyes as Alice pushed the button. The thought of all those photo porn and erotic on your phone still made you a bit too embarrassed. You waited for Alice and Feston's reaction, but he seemed to be silent. Suddenly you took a peek through your hands. There's nothing. What happened? Looks like a jumbled mess of data. Ugly and incomprehensible. Something must have gone wrong with the transferring process. Master Alex's contraptions must have scrambled the data. We don't know how data transfer work in Dave's place, so Feston thinks. Yes, thank you, Feston. I can think for myself, you know. I believe the data can still be rearranged. It'll be a lengthy process, but it's not like it's going anywhere. Now that we've got a copy of it right here, but now I can finally disassemble the phone to study its intricacies. You're gonna destroy the phone? Well, yes, I need to see how things work on the inside. Do you mind? Yeah, I don't mind. It's been a while since I used it. Besides, I don't think I can get any cell service here. Alright then. He began experimenting the phone to see how he could get it open. He decided to help him by sewing the back cover, which opened up quite easily as he slid it off. After giving you a nod of acknowledgement, he took over with his own tools and began disassembling the phone further. He then used his computer to create a schematic of the phone and internal parts. He also added notes and extra diagrams of the schematic while comparing it to his own device. It seems like it's gonna take a while. Preston tried to assist him, but he almost crushed the phone multiple times while trying to use the wrench-like tool. He wondered how he could be so clumsy with his tiny hands, yet at the same time strong enough to carry those heavier gadgets around the lab. He stayed with both of them until it was finally time for you to leave. Alice let out a small yawn as he stood up from his desk and stretched. I suppose it's time for you to head back, Dave. You've done well for today. Yes, Dave helped Feston and Master Alex finish one of Feston and Master Alex's long-term project. Well, I'm glad I could be of help, Alex. It's almost finished. I finally worked out some of the things I'm missing, but there are still some finer details that account for. Come back tomorrow to see the result, Dave. Will do. Feston is happy that Master Alex didn't yell at Feston even once. Master Alex seems to be in a good mood today. Hey, I just happen to be quite distracted with this new discovery. You're being less annoying and actually more helpful than usual, so of course I'm in no position to be angry at you. Feston's energetic because Dave is here. You people really freshen up the atmosphere. Well, Dave is quite flattered if Feston puts it that way. Oh god, now you two. Alex smiled and snickered. I can only handle one Feston, you know. He can't help but smile too. Well, see you tomorrow then, Master Alex, huh? Stop it, he chuckled. Don't push your luck. Well, I'm going then. See you, Alex, Feston. Until next time. Likewise, Dave, sir. He exited the lab and ran to Alex on his way back. He smelled a bit like the ocean. Maybe he went to the beach today. He gave you a dinner box and asked about your day, to which he briefly talked about the phone ordeal today. He didn't seem too inclined to talk about his day, however. He bid him goodbye as he went back to your room. After taking a shower and relaxing for a bit, you ate your dinner and went to bed after a while. You have never been here before, yet somehow the large chamber felt familiar to you. You feel like you've been here for a long time. My lord, all preparations have been made. We wait on your command. Good. Anything else to report? Stardust wishes to send you his regards, my lord. He appears to be faring well. That's good. And Linus, already in position as requested. Make sure he's in prime condition for tomorrow. Do not disappoint me, Vic. As you wish, my lord. Oh, you're here. Eavesdropping on others like so. I would have thought they taught you to be better. Then again, it matters not. Once I've gotten through this wretched city, you're next, hero. That's how I figure. Let out a bellowing laugh, then that batter your ears. You held your head and cowered into a corner, wondering when it would all be over. The deafening laughter somehow became more high-pitched as time went on before turning into the familiar ring of your alarm clock. My head. You slowly sat up with a groan, looking around just to make sure it was still your room. The throbbing headache rendered you dizzy for a moment. What was that about? You tried to recall what you dreamed of, though most of the details have always faded from your mind. The only thing that remained was that last laugh. You said that it was the same laugh from your nightmares. You decided to stay in bed until your head got better. Afterwards, you went through your morning routines to prepare for another day with Alex. You wouldn't want to be late for the appointment. You head down to the lab and put your eyes on the scanner. The door opened and you could see both Alice and Festus sleeping at one of the larger work benches. It was seen they had worked overnight. Festus woke up as soon as he heard the door opening. Oh, good morning, Dave, sir. Good morning, Festus. You guys didn't sleep last night? Yes, Mr. Alice was working on a prototype after carefully dissecting this phone that Dave Sir gave him. Festus will make some coffee for Master Alex. Did Dave Sir want some? Huh? Oh no, I just had my breakfast already. Alright then. Be right back. Festus quickly hopped off and hurried along the lab hallway. He led to the workbench where lots of diagrams and schematics were scattered across the surface. In one corner you could see what looked like the remains of your phone. With a small sigh, you shifted your attention to Alex. The lynx was still fast asleep, his chest heaving at a gentle pace. He seemed so peaceful like this. You're tempted to pat his head and brush it with your hands, but you know you might get in trouble for that. So you do it anyway? After some hesitation, you gave him some head pats and squished his head. You can feel the soft fur rustling against your hand. You waited for him to jump and scream at you, but he only tilted his head as you went on. You could even hear a soft purr coming from him. You can smell the coffee wafting from afar. Looks like Festus is back already. Dave, that you? What are you doing? You realized Alice was eyeing you for a bit as he patted his head. You quickly yanked your hand away out of embarrassment. Sorry, Alice, I didn't mean to do that. It's just that you look so peaceful and don't blame so much, will you? It's alright early in the morning. Too much talking gives me headaches. Oh, right, well, still. Listen, I'll just pretend I didn't know what you were talking about. I'm sorry. But I wouldn't mind you doing that again. Huh? Nothing. Well, thanks for the coffee, Festus. I need myself the extra energy for today's trip. Oh, you're going somewhere? Yes, we are going somewhere. Some mines to be precise. You do have mails that are either identical to the ones on your phone or could work as a substitute. but we need to check in with the samples kits to see if those materials are still in stock. Oh, the mines, Master Alex says. How exciting. Sorry to disappoint you, Fesson, but you'll need to stay and hold the fort for me. I'm still processing the data from Dave's phone, which might be useful for the prototype's operating system. Understood, Master Alex, sir. Alright, come along now, Dave. Let's not waste any time, okay? See you, Fesson. Likewise, Dave, sir. You follow Alex outside the lab. You can already feel the awkward silence setting in as you stare into the elevator. Should I chat with him a bit? He doesn't seem like the type to enjoy small talk. I mean, neither do I, but should I? So you guys worked all night yesterday? Yeah, as if you hadn't asked that already. What of it, Nothing, it's just, what's it like actually? Pardon? Well, like, I've had nights where I stay up to get some homework done or just couldn't sleep and wanted to kill me in some ways. But I've never worked in a lab all night before. So what's it like? What's it like, eh? Well, first off, it's not really an uncommon occurrence. Aside from the sleep pattern issue, it's actually quite exhilarating, if I do say so myself. Really? I haven't looked into it fully, but I notice that as nighttime draws by, both I and Fesson seem to be more focused. We could have easily made tremendous progress had we the energy to afford that. If only my damn sister didn't fall asleep before me every time. But right, I agree that it can be pretty exciting to work at night sometimes, but I also aware that it's really bad for your health to mess up your sleeping schedule. That's why I compensate with more naps or more coffee. But that's, I know, it can't be helped, you know. Any breakthrough I can make would benefit both the guild and the city greatly. I don't really expect you to understand that. Oh, I appreciate the concern. Didn't expect you to be a Nikito as well. Nikito? What's that? It's a night-dwelling creature known for being silent and reclusive. Yeah, it kind of sounds like the both of us. Sorry, I don't mean to. It's fine. You're more interesting than you've seen, Dave. Thanks. Well, here we are. You both headed to the receptionist. Good morning, Master Alex. How might we be of service today? I'd like to check the sample stores for stones and minerals. Alright, please give us a moment. The receptionist started typing a couple of things at their computer before calling someone. After we both were escorted to the aforementioned storage room. All the stone and minerals samples are available to us are here. Just submit the code to for the samples you wish to retrieve, and we will deliver them to your lab. Thank you. You may leave now. I can take it from here. As you wish, sir. He followed Alex inside the room. There were rows and rows of cells against the wall, each with a glass container housing one such mineral sample within. So far, this seemed more like a vault to you, and a somewhat high-tech one, too. Oh, there's so many stones here. Quite impressive, is it not? The ageless mines are built on top of a rich mineral deposit. Thus the ore, stones, and crystals you see here are all gathered here. Now quit standing around and help me memorize the codes I want. You quickly went from row to row, visually inspecting the samples carefully. You saw that what looked like a shiny black stone. This one, memorize it. R182521. Okay. He always went to a different row before you could ready yourself. T205141919. Another code, he says, better write it down somewhere. You were still scribbling to find pen and paper to note those down when he gave you another two. C315144-518 and S1982114. Heck, you don't know if you could remember any of those, but you'll try your best. Alright, that's the four that I want to know, that I want for now. Let's go to the receptionist and tell them what we want. You both return to the receptionist. Welcome back, sir. Is everything in order? Yes, we're done inspecting the samples. Come on, Dave, tell them what we need. Okay. Let's see, we need... R182521, T2051419119, C315144-518, and S1982114. Yes, that sounds about right. Looks like he managed to memorize them all without taking notes even. Good job, Dave. Thanks, Alex. Anyways, here's the rest of the stuff that we need. He handed over a paper filled with codes. You had a note this whole time? Well, of course, I just wanted to test your brain capacity with this simple task. I'll be frank with you. I expected the worst, but it turns out I'm in for yet another surprise. I see. You both headed back to the lab after finishing your business there. You ran to Ray on the way to the lab. Oh, hey guys. Hey Ray, what are you doing here? I'm on my way to the garden. What about you? Are you guys on a date or something? No. What gave you that idea? I'm doing something much more important than a trivial date. Oh, like what? Sex? Why? My own damn business. Come on, Dave. Let's leave this vulgar thing behind. We've got a lot of work to do. And that easy, huh? Well then, take care of you little birds. Sheesh, what's gotten into him? And you. Me? Don't get any fun ideas. Right. You took the elevator down to the lab. Much to your surprise, there were already piles of boxes out front. Festus was already hard at work, slowly pushing one box after another to the lab. Oh, that was fast. He scurried over to help Festus. Yes, thank you, Dave, sir. The must have an underground delivery staff to transport all the items here. Alex said while picking up a box. Here, let me help. He took the box from his hand, seeing how he was struggling a little against his weight. Thanks. I can handle things here for you if you want. Sure, I'll review the models I wanted to make in the meantime. After you're done, you can put the oils and bills from the box to that device over there. Sure thing. So, how was it? How was what? The prototype. We really managed to come up with something. If we can successfully create this thing, it could be revolutionary technology for us. Our technology is limited to the size of the crystals that we are using. If we can incorporate your world's technology with ours, it will be a new breakthrough. Our equipment can finally become lighter and more compact. That sounds great, Alex. Now let's talk about walking. Chop chop. Alright. You helped Fester moving the mineral boxes into the lab and stack them by themselves accordingly. Afterwards, you also helped them in crafting the prototype phone. Despite using the base design of your old phone, Alex's method seemed very different and highly technical. You couldn't really understand what was going on most of the time, though. At least you were still able to assist them on the side. You kept working until it was time for you to go. At the end of the day, Alex managed to put together his first prototype model. It looked rather different from the phone. It was unpowered still. You may leave now if you want, Dave. It's getting late. It will be one more test at least for a while. It seems like they're planning on pulling another all-nighter. Should you stay and help them? I could stick around and help if you guys don't mind. That's a good idea, Dave, sir. Well, we're gonna be here all night. Are you sure you want to stay awake that long? Sure thing. I haven't done an all night in a while. so I used to do it a lot more before, especially during exam days. Is that right? Well, if that's the case, then feel free to stay. No sleeping on the job, though. If I catch you sleeping on my watch, I'll send you back to your room. Got it. Resume work with them after eating the dinner that Ray brought earlier in the evening. The dragon didn't speak much before he left, but somehow he seemed quite pleased. You helped Alex monitoring the prototype state while he infested and tried interacting with it. Sometimes it failed to start. Other times it fizzled and crackled a little. You felt thankful that it didn't explode on your own. It felt impossible, but Alex eventually managed to make one work for quite a while, though it only could blow up with a blank screen before turning off again on its own. It happened over and over again until sleep overtook you one by one. Feston was the first to fall asleep on top of the workbench. Then Alice face planted on his desk as you've seen in the morning, and you somehow found the tabletop oddly comforting. It's time. So we covered days 2, 3, 4, and 5 for Alex. So it seems like Dave's presence here in this world is quite beneficial. It's being very beneficial for the future of it, because with Alex, look at Dave's phone, he can invent things that can be less compact and won't have to use so much energy, because they do have machines in this world for basic stuff, but they're very big and they occupy a lot of space. So with Dave's phone, Alex can try to create small devices. Don't take up so much energy from the crystals So, Alex, in all the other routes, he is quite a person who's get irritated easily. He's kind of got an attitude and kind of crosses quite a bit, and he just can be rude sometimes, but he's certainly not a bad guy. I mean, he's definitely not. I mean, he wants to be the best scientist in the world. He wants to invent things for the benefit of all people, and he seems to be very concerned about Ray, to the point he keeps telling him to be careful every time he goes out on a mission or goes out somewhere to investigate something. And both he and Ray seem to have a close friendship, while they may bicker a lot. And the rat assistant, Feston, he seems to be from a different country or a different region, because instead of saying I, he always says Feston, like in the third person, and he doesn't say I or you. He said, when he refers to himself, he says Feston. When he refers to Dave, he refers to him as Dave and not you. So that's sort of like one of the cultural differences of this world. And if you saw the other routes, it went like in Max's route, when both Max, Ray, and Dave with the Akai tree and to the Akai tree to look at the crystals, then you know what happened here in this route with them arguing and bickering in the lobby. So we haven't seen Dave participating in combat yet. However, despite that, he seems to be making a lot of changes our way to the future of this plan with him having his phone and Alex being able to dissect it and see he can create devices more compact. So see, like Alex likes starting to like Dave a little bit anyway. To the point that he is more trusting of Dave now. He trusts Dave a lot now because he's proven to perform the job pretty good to Alex's liking. He hasn't been able to go on Alex's bad side so far. It's a good thing also. So next time we do Heroes Advent, we'll start with day 6. And just like all the other rules, you know what's going to happen. So that's all I have for now on the description for the different all the links for the game on the description box below, including the Patreon where you can support the game once updates 1 month or 2 months in advance before they become public. And you can also go on to Twitter and look at the progress of the game and news on the game's future, and as well as when new updates will become available for the public. So that's all I have for now. Thank you all very much for watching. See you later.